All right, everyone. Did you know that over 300 million people worldwide suffer with anxiety? That's the entire population of the USA. But here's the surprising part. There are 5 powerful coping mechanisms that you can do to help that. In this video, I'll show you what they are and how you can use them. But stick with me till the end because I'm going to give you a game-changing tip that's going to change your mind about anxiety. I'm Jody Paul, and this is Stuck in the Middle. I've suffered from anxiety for quite a while now, and it comes in all different shapes, sizes if you like. The most recent one, so we filmed a Christmas special for you guys over the Christmas. It was released on Christmas Eve about not being alone, and what you can do, who you can ring and stuff like that. Now, if you've watched that video, we have a nice new swanky studio, thanks to Austin Blakemore. And on the morning, for some reason, I ended up having an anxiety attack. Now, I know that I was worried about getting there on time, being in somebody else's space. Now, it's Austin's studio, so, and normally we've been filming these in my living room. Now, Andy Man, my co-host, he's been brilliant over the last, say, year, where he's really helped me with different things like the alcohol. 7 weeks sober now, by the way. So I've learned to be comfortable with him. And the problem that I've got is we had to then start talking and doing all of that podcasty stuff in front of somebody else who was filming, who knew what they were doing when it comes to lighting and the camera and things like that. So on the morning, I had an anxiety attack, heavy breathing. So the anxiety attack, it wasn't very nice, to be fair. in my stomach, I was just in knots. I felt sick. Initially, I'll be honest, I didn't know why. Because I was excited about doing the episode. But for some reason, I think it's a little of the social anxiety. I struggle with being out there in groups of people and things like that. And I do very well with putting on a brave face and pretending. So yeah, on the morning, Laura was at work, Nathan was at school. So I was on my own. I didn't really have anything, and I couldn't get my finger on exactly what it was. Oh, hang on while we walk past. Oh. Afternoon, you alright? Come here. See, 2 people just walked past. I still had to stop. Still really struggle with that. It's anxiety about what people think. Do they think I'm being like, do I look stupid? That sort of thing, you know? But anyway, sorry. So anyway, on that morning, feeling sick, hyperventilating, really feeling confused, panic, worry, like scared of something. I think that's the best way I can sort of describe it. Now, anxiety is a natural thing in your body that protects you from danger. So for example, if you were standing on the edge of a cliff or you were going too fast in a car, your body will naturally produce this anxiety to warn you and get your body ready for the fight-flight scenario. So in that moment, my body's telling me, I'm going somewhere new. I don't really know the person. I'm not comfortable yet with speaking in front of people. So I was panicking. So in the past and present, if I'm honest, because the problem with anxiety, it makes your mind all fuzzy. So on that morning, I was getting ready, getting all the gear together, ready to take to the studio. And I sort of got in the van. I think I was late. I had to sort of text Andy and say, I'm going to be late, which created more anxiety. The problem, like I said, the problem with the anxiety, where it's a natural thing to get your body ready and prepare you for danger, is it's not always accurate. The problem with it is, over time, now, one-off moments, you might learn that, okay, I'm safe straight away, so that anxiety doesn't come back. But with people like yourself, maybe, and me, who suffer with depression and anxiety mainly, sometimes that anxiety just keeps coming. So you're naturally afraid of it. In the past, I probably wouldn't have gone. I probably would have texted Andy and come up with an excuse as to why not to go. Sat in the house, probably had a drink, and sat there feeling sorry for myself, scared, not knowing what it was, frustrated. That's another thing, because afterwards you're like, oh, I wish I'd gone, or I wish I'd done this, or I wish I'd done that for you guys. So, that leads us on to the first coping mechanism, breathing. Every counsellor, every flyer, every internet thing that you see, YouTube posts or what have you, will tell you to breathe. And for good reason. Because breathing can really calm you down. This is the thing with breathing, right? So the breathing mechanism that I do that really helps, and I did on that day, is called the 4-4-4. So what do I mean by that? So what you do, inhale for 4 seconds. So hold your breath for 4 seconds. And breathe out for 4 seconds. And repeat that process until you can feel yourself getting better. Clears your head, makes you feel that little bit better, calms you. So this anxiety feeling that you can feel inside of you, that is sort of making you feel on edge and scared, all of a sudden, it's just took the edge off. Keep doing that breathing exercise. 4-4-4. Breathe in for 4 seconds, hold your breath for 4 seconds, and breathe out for 4 seconds. And you will feel better. And keep going with this exercise, and you'll get better and better and better. Now, the really cool thing about the breathing exercises is you don't need any crazy apparatus or need to go anywhere. You can do it right there on the spot, whether you're at work, whether you're in the car. And, you know, I've been in the car. A lot of anxiety comes with a lot of people driving on the roads, busy roads, motorways. 4 seconds in, 4 seconds hold, 4 seconds out. Coping mechanism 2. Physical activity. The dreaded word. As you can see, I'm out doing this episode whilst going for a walk. Now, the weather's not great, but it doesn't really bother me, to be fair, because I'm out. Physical activity has been scientifically proven to help reduce anxiety. Okay? So whether it's going for a walk like what we're doing now, stretching, literally doing some stretching in the house. There are hundreds of different videos on YouTube that you can go on to that show you all different stretching and things like that. If you're a runner, like my wife enjoys running, that's her anxiety relief. That's her enjoyment. There are all sorts of different physical activities. Now, you have to find one that you like. It's no good me telling you go for a walk if you're not a fan of going out and, you know, getting all wrapped up or whatever. Running. I hate running. Not a fan of it at all. My wife knows this. But I tell you what, if you can find that physical, go to the gym or going swimming or just generally getting involved with doing something, physical activity sort of helps you breathe, so it mixes with the coping mechanism 1. And there's something about being out walking like this in nature that really just helps center your mind and really gathers all your thoughts, where you learn, especially going for a walk on your own. Now, obviously be careful with that. There are tracking things and stuff on your phone you can do. Gives you time to just think, and not just overthink, but think about how these anxiety feelings, how they are, how you feel them, what is this sensation, what are these emotions that I'm going through, why am I anxious? Is it, like I've mentioned before, is it fact or fiction? Am I anxious about this because I know for a fact that that's going to happen? Or am I anxious about this because I think this is going to happen? 9 times out of 10, thinking that something's going to happen, it generally doesn't. But the most important thing is you're actually recognizing the fact that your anxiety is there, and you're recognizing the fact that you need to get out and do it. So just like this, get out on the walk and enjoy it. Now, in case you haven't noticed, it's extremely foggy, but I quite like it. It's mysterious, you know? It's nice, it's good. So walking, for me, has been one of the main things that's helped with my anxiety. So I implore you to try the same. Coping mechanism 3, grounding techniques. This is something that I use, especially when my thoughts and anxiety start to spiral out of control, sort of get ahead of themselves, overdoing it. And this is what sort of, you know, when I mentioned the anxiety attack, this is when it's really overwhelming, can't breathe, feel sick, that sort of thing. This grounding technique pulls you out of your anxious thoughts and puts you into the present moment, centers you into your mind, into the present moment. The technique I like to use is called 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5 things you can see, like a tree, or the road, or a rock, or the leaves, or a bird perched on the end of a branch. 5 things you can see. Doesn't matter where you are, if you're in the office, whether you're at home, out socially, 5 things you can see. 4 things you can touch. Now this can be anything from the clothes on your body, the drink in your hand, knife and fork in your hand, anything that you can touch. Now I can feel the gloves on my hands, keep my hands quite warm. I can feel the camera in my left hand. I can feel the hat on my head. Really think about it. Really put emphasis on the things that you can feel. 3 things you can hear. Now listen closely to what's going on around you. Whether it's, like mine right now, is my feet walking on the stones. I can hear the traffic in the background. And I can hear the rain. It's not raining now, but I can hear the rain dripping from the trees onto the floor. 3 things you can hear. 2 things you can smell. I need to take a second for this one. Take a deep breath. So I can smell. So when it's been raining and the rain's been on the floor, you can kind of smell the mud and what have you. Or the cold air. I can feel that, to be fair. Cold air has a certain smell to it, doesn't it? Something like the forest has a certain smell. Anyway, 2 things you can smell. Deep breath, concentrate, even if it's a subtle smell. Odd one, that. Which leads me on to 1 thing you can taste. Now, this one's a tricky one. For me, I've not long had some chewing gum, so I can taste the mint in my mouth. You might have just been able to maybe recently have just had a meal, you can still taste it. One of the smells you smelt might sometimes links with your taste, you might be able to taste that. Again, just stop, think hard. Okay, yeah, you can still taste the mint from the chewing gum before. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5 things you can see, 4 things you can touch, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing you can taste. What this will do is it will bring you to the present moment. So if your mind's running away with you, your anxious feelings are getting a hold of you, do this grounding technique that will just pull you back in, help you calm down. Coping mechanism 4, use a creative outlet. Let's get creative. One of the things, or 2 of the things, should I say, that I'm doing recently. One was the podcast, something I'd never even dreamed about doing in the past, which I absolutely love. The vlog, loving doing these vlogs. So it's starting to let me think about how we look, how we position ourselves, the lighting, the camera, the sound. It's really starting to get me the ideas for the vlogs, like thinking about this one today. Writing it down, being creative. Talking about writing it down. We talk a lot about journaling on the show. And in the Christmas special that we did, I actually talk about journaling to help with some of those sad, lonely moments. And journaling in the terms of anxiety, though, is a great way to get these emotions, feelings out onto paper. And one of the things I've noticed when I journal is when I get it out onto paper, it's something reading your own thoughts back to yourself. It really puts a little bit of clarity on exactly what it is that you're feeling. Like I said earlier on, don't forget, anxiety is normal. This is your body's way of preparing you for danger. Not always accurate, like mine wasn't. I had nothing to worry about. We did the episode and I absolutely loved it. It's therapeutic to get your words onto paper. You don't have to say them aloud. If you're feeling a little bit embarrassed around people, you can sit there and just journal. Diary. I find journaling one of my main things. Now, I'm out here having a walk and I'm vlogging this and I'm recording this and saying all of these things. What I will do after I do this is to remember what to journal in or what to write in my journal, as I'll do a little 2-3 minute video now as I'm walking back to the van and getting ready to go home on how I'm feeling, how I felt that went, how did I think that, just getting it all out there so that when I get back, I'll watch this again and I'll write it down, relive the moment, find out, really do some searching as to what these anxiety feelings are. Now, there's been a lot of people today, obviously it's just after Christmas and stuff, Merry Christmas by the way, that have gone out for a walk, and I still don't have the confidence to start doing this talking as somebody's walking past and even sort of saying hello, how are you, and putting it on the vlog, which would be a nice touch, but my anxiety feeling, so what's the danger there? I don't know. So I'm going to talk about this myself afterwards because I don't have a pen and a paper, and we've all got a mobile phone, so you can definitely do it on there. But journaling is a great way to explore your feelings so you can start learning from them and start really helping your anxiety. One of my favorites. Whew. I'm so unfit, it's unreal. Coping mechanism 5, self-compassion. It is absolutely, like I've just said, okay to feel anxious. It is normal. The word anxiety is being thrown around a lot. And I find that sometimes a bit of a good thing just because it's getting people to talk about it. I mean, for me personally, myself, getting out, doing these things and talking about anxiety really helps me start to study and understand exactly what anxiety is not how we can beat it, because anxiety is, because it's a normal thing, you don't have to cure anxiety. You just have to find good coping mechanisms like these 5. And being kind to yourself is something that my counselor says to me a lot. And that's just give yourself a break. Don't beat yourself up about any particular moment that you're feeling anxious about. Oh, like, you know, it's okay. Take that day off. Don't worry about the things that you can't control. We can control our breathing. We can control what we see, hear, taste, and smell around us. We can control how we feel in that specific moment. Anxiety is normal. It is normal. Be kind to yourself. The physical activity is you getting out there. You will get home and you will feel like you've went out and done a healthy thing. You know, we all suffer from, especially this time of year. Wait, how much have you eaten this time? Oh, I feel like I have a Christmas dinner every day, you know, there's always leftovers. And January is always a good time for everybody to start getting into their nutrition and working out and stuff like that. But if you suffer from not being able to go out or anything like that, there's a lot of things you can do in the house. Do the steps up the stairs if you can't do that. The stretching is a great one. My wife does that quite a bit, actually, to be fair. I have tried it a few times myself. I am not very flexible at all. But coping mechanism 5, self-compassion. Give yourself a break. It's okay. So that's the 5 coping mechanisms covered. Now, I promised you one final game-changing tip for anxiety at the end of the show. Reframing anxiety to energy. Instead of viewing anxiety as something you need to avoid, see it as a burst of energy, something for you to act on. You can channel that energy into doing something productive, like going out for a walk, like the breathing exercise. Change the framing of anxiety to energy. Can reduce its power and make you feel more in control. A lot of the times with anxiety, we feel out of control. So we've covered all 5 coping mechanisms, like breathing, grounding, self-compassion. And don't forget, change that mindset from anxiety to energy. It will help you take back some of that control and make you feel centered in the moment and feel better. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give us a like, subscribe to the channel so we can continue to keep making some content just like this. I'm going to hit anxiety a lot more and see what we can come up with together. Going on these walks, in the studio, and in your diary. Don't forget to leave a comment below. What's your coping mechanism for your anxiety? Leave it in the comments. Let's get talking about it. We're going to be doing a lot more videos relating to this topic. So let's get everybody involved. And don't forget, you've got this. I'm Jody Paul, and I'm all in. Are you all in?